And welcome back, YouTube. This is Boosterbox Buster here with another video. Today I'm here to share with you my Nintendo Switch digital video game collection. Now, a lot of you may be asking, digital, why not both digital and physical? Well, for the first console ever, with the exception of the PC, I've purchased more digital games than physical games. And the reason for that is pure convenience. I absolutely love being able to take the console on the go or hook it up to my TV and not having to switch carts out if I want to play a specific game. It's all right here on my menu. I don't have to worry about swapping a card out, or if I'm out somewhere playing my Switch at a friend's house or something and it's like, oh, I forgot this cart so I can't even play it. But if it's on the console, I'm good to go. So it's kind of just a nice convenience. On top of that, a lot of games that I've been playing lately are indie games, and indie games that are either A, have a very, very, very short print run of their game and are very expensive or hard to find, or B, just don't have a physical copy altogether, which means I have to get it digital. Now, a lot of these games that you'll see I've picked up for typically when they're on sale for like 50% off or more, and that's why a lot of these games that you'll see I have not yet played. Some of them are big time sinks, and some of them are like short little exercises of video games. So without further ado, let's get into Boosterbox Buster's Nintendo Switch Digital Video Game Collection. Alright, so the very first game is Brave Dungeon plus Dark Witch's Story Combat. Now, this is the most recent game that I've been playing on the Nintendo Switch. I've almost completed the Brave Dungeon side, but I have not even started the Dark Witch combat yet. So that is, I can't tell you anything about that, but the Brave Dungeon plays very much like a mobile game. Very grindy, very, very minimal story, and a lot of collectibles to unlock that you have to grind for to officially get. I'm just going to turn it up a little bit here. Well, okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelists, that's actually a physical cartridge, so that will... I'm not going to talk about that in this particular video. Super Mario 35. It's a fun Battle Royale Mario game. I'm not going to lie, I kind of suck at it because I am rusty at Mario Bros. Tokyo Dark Remembrance, fantastic. Fantastic. Point-and-click adventure meets visual novel. Absolutely love the atmosphere and the animated style. It's pseudo-anime, and they did a fantastic job with it. If you love supernatural, murder suspect, cop, not cop, but detective, that combines supernatural, psychological, and mythological, it's a fantastic, fantastic story. I highly recommend it. It has 13 different endings. I've only been able to get 6. And I don't want to spoil anything because it is fantastic all the way through. But trust me, if you enjoy anime-style art and a really good suspenseful story, pick it up. Swaps and Traps, I'm in the middle of playing this. I have yet to complete it. And I'm trying to get as high on the leaderboards as I possibly can. Very, very fun, simple platforming game. Pantsu Hunter. This, despite its name, there is no... what's the word? Erotic content. The most erotic thing that you will see in this game is a pair of panties. Not even on a woman, just a pair of panties that the guy pretty much snatched from the woman's closet. It's a visual novel game. It's set in the 80s, which is pretty cool. I absolutely love the art style. The art style is really nice. If you're looking for just a very nice, like a romantic comedy type, you know, the loser who's trying to be a panty hunter, but at the end kind of may realize that that isn't what he wants to do and may fall in love with one of these women. If that's the type of your story, you will probably enjoy this game. Remember, absolutely no um, like erotic content. There's no nudity whatsoever. So if that's a big issue, there's absolutely none of that. You don't have to worry. Honestly, this particular screenshot image here is probably more erotic than anything you'll see in the actual game, believe it or not. Abzu is essentially swimming the video game. Kind of reminds me of the Endless Ocean video game that Nintendo did a while back. Only everything's not what it seems, and there's a little bit of a story going on of like ancient technology and ancient people that tried to rule the world, but it went awry. It's but none of it's told through words. It's all through pictures and diagrams and hieroglyphics. It's a pretty fun game. The Long Reach, not my favorite game. Pretty fun if you enjoy. What would be the best word to describe this? Kind of like a point and click adventure survival horror game. Not bad. Done in a 16-bit style. Keep that in mind, 16-bit style. If you don't like that style graphics, you ain't gonna like this game. Saritsalot picked up that for cheap, haven't played it yet. Mary Skelter picked it up for cheap, haven't played it yet. Chameleon is it's Hexic HD combined with Risk. Permanent Risk. Once you take over a territory, it's yours forever. Super short. This game's like 2 hours long. Only pick it up if you can get it for like $1 or less. Gun Pixies, haven't played it yet. Worms WMD, classic Worms game. Welcome to Promised Lake, haven't played it. Dex, haven't played it. Jumping Kingdom Princess of the Black Rabbit, haven't played it yet. I absolutely loved the weird premise of this game though, and it was cheap enough, so I picked it up. There's another one, it's like Sideways Ghost Hammer Puzzle or something like that. I want to pick it up, but it's like $20, and that's way too much. I wouldn't pay more than like $5 for that game. If it's on sale for cheap enough, I'll pick it up. But I mean, $20 for a puzzle game, I ain't gonna pay that. Le Grand Legacy, haven't played it. Please Teach Me Onigari Shogi. So this is a game. It's all in Japanese, and essentially you're trying to teach the computer how to play shogi. Sometimes the computer is absolutely going to whoop you, other times it plays the absolutely dumb moves and you're just going to have an easy victory. It's not I'm not going to lie. I did not know how to play shogi before this, but if you know how to play chess, it's very similar to chess. Only certain piece, only you cannot go backwards unless you have a very certain piece, and certain pieces typically, like it cuts some of the powers of pieces in half. Like for instance, there's one piece that can only move forward. It cannot move side to side or backwards, but it can only move forward. So that imitates the rook from chess, but just solely moving forward. That's it. Can't move backwards, can't move left or right unless you're trying to take a piece, and you can move, I think, diagonally one piece. So yeah, that's it. It's a shogi game where you're trying to teach a computer how to play shogi. Akihabara Crash 123 Stage +1. If you enjoy Acronoid and you enjoy Akihabara from Japan, you would probably enjoy this game because it takes like Akihabara maid cafes, use it as the background, and you play Acronoid or Breakout with that particular background. It's it's a fun game if you enjoy Breakout. If you don't enjoy Breakout, you ain't gonna like it. Moro Chronicles Hyper. I sunk a lot of time into this game. It's a fun game. There's a lot of funny points in it, but I will say it is for the mature audience. If you're not over a certain age, please don't play it. There's a lot of innuendos in that game as well. I completed the game, I think 100%, got all the unlockable characters. There's like 50 unlockable characters, although I think like six of them are like you can't even get until after you beat the main game. Uh, the game is not the art style is great. The voice acting is kind of grady on the ears, some of the characters anyway. And do beware, for whatever reason, if your characters are wearing certain outfits during cutscenes, for whatever reason, it'll crash the game and you'll have to revert to your last save. It's weird, but there's one. What's the name? The one, the Cerberus character, not Cerberus. I forget her name, but yeah, for whatever reason, the game will literally crash if you wear a certain outfit during her cutscene. It's kind of annoying. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, fantastic game. I don't have to say anything about it. I absolutely love it. Splatoon's physical, I'm not going to talk about it. Nirvana Pilot Yumi, haven't played it. Bloodbreed, haven't played it. Weakwood Throne, have not played it. Valentina, have not played it. Bayonetta, fantastic game, absolutely love it. Waifu Undercover, haven't played it. Dark Devotion, absolutely fantastic. Rogue Light game. If you enjoy rogue games and like a challenge, but not too hard of a challenge, this game is for you. Very, very dark themes. You gotta have a bit of either a dark sense of humor or be able to withstand some really dark, heavy material if you want to really get the full enjoyment out of this game. So, not for the faint of heart, people that like happy go lucky stuff all the time. Not for you, but if you enjoy a roguelike with a dark theme to it, this might be for you. Eternal Blade, actually, not a bad game. It kind of reminds me of the old PS1 slash early PS2 era side-scrolling, side-scrolling action platformers. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. The story's kind of convoluted and annoying because it deals with time travel, and time travel is always hard to do, no matter who takes the reins of it. Nukapara Volume 2, it's a visual novel with absolutely no choices, so essentially, if you want to watch anime, but in slideshow format, you'll probably like this. Very, very nice story, but I was expecting there to be choices, and there were absolutely no choices to be had. It's literally just you watch it, play out, hit the button to hit yes, or you hit the button to continue the dialogue, and that's all you do. There's no choices whatsoever, so keep that in mind. Yukapara, fantastic, very cute story, but no choices to be had. Soul Slayer, I played it and I did not enjoy it. It's very annoying. Yeah, how do I describe this one? So it's kind of like a mystery, like who done it type thing. However, in order to progress, you have to choose the right path and pick up certain phrases along the way, put those phrases together to be able to create the right choice. And if you don't collect the right phrases, then you absolutely lose. But if you do collect the right phrases, then you can unlock the good ending. I have not been able to unlock the good ending because I don't know what the right phrases are. Oh, not my game. Flag Road, haven't played it. Fantaruk. It's an okay survival horror first person game. You absolutely have no weapons. It's just you trying to outrun the enemy. You're set on this spaceship, and it's very reminiscent of like older Steam horror games. If you like it, if you like that type of game, like a lot of Markiplier type games, you might give this a shot. It's very. I picked it up for like 10 cents. It was worth a pickup. Not my favorite game, but not bad. Volgar the Viking, very classic hack and slash action platformer, like done in the 16-bit era. Very hard though. To get the good ending, you have to learn this game inside and out. Leisure Suit Larry. I picked up this game purely because I thought this might be gone from the eShop one day, and I would like to keep it in my collection in case the eShop ever disappears. Sister Royale, have not played it. The Big Cynical Adventure, haven't played it. Ascendant Hearts, have not played it. Dream Alone is essentially Limbo. But with a couple of very, very precise, like very hard jumps that you gotta be very like on the edge to get. And a story that is not bad. I did not mind the story. It's kind of done with this storyteller. You know, the narrator. He's reading a book about this kid that you're playing. And then you go all the way through, and the ending is kind of creepy, but it's not terrible. I'd say it's not as good as Limbo, but it's not bad either. It's like if you want to get Limbo, but you don't have the money, and you have this is like 50 cents. I'd give this a shot. Aster Breed, if you like on-rail shooters, 3D shooters, this is a fun game. However, keep in mind it's super short. You could beat it in like 2 or 3 hours. And the story is told in the absolute worst way. You have cutscenes where action is happening, and then it'll give you clips of story on the side that you're supposed to read while all the action is happening. And yeah, that really sucks because you can't really read it and pay attention to the action that's happening at the same time. It was a very poorly designed interface for the story. Elemental Knights R, have not played it, picked it up for cheap. Just ignore them. Fantastic RPG horror maker game. If you've seen them one, you probably know the style I'm talking about. It has a couple of really cool different endings. However, keep in mind it's super short. It's like 2-3 hours long. Revenge of the Bird King, picked it up for it was like 2 or 3 cents. If you like Zelda 2, you might like this. If you don't like Zelda 2, you'll hate this. It's pretty much a Zelda 2. It takes heavy inspiration from Zelda 2 and some other classic 8-bit style games, but mostly Zelda 2. And it's like, oh, well, it's okay. I know this game has a legendary story behind it, but I played it. It's not bad. Spheroids, for whatever reason, I could never get the control scheme straight in this game. I want to hit. There was a button I wanted to hit to activate my claw. I would keep hitting the button to fire my weapon. I don't know why. I can never get it straight. Uh, Other than that, it's a serviceable platformer. Nothing great, nothing bad. It's kind of like Mutant Muds, where you can kind of jump forward and backward between the different screens, between the foreground and background. But it's just average. It's not great, but it's not bad. Picross, Lord of the Nazareth. If you like the Lord of the Nazareth series, you'll probably like this. It's if you like Picross, because it's literally takes scenes or like stills from the anime, puts it in Picross form. You chisel it out, you get story bits, and it's not bad, but it's not anything great. If you like Picross, it's fun, but if you don't like Picross, obviously you ain't gonna like it. Dark Witch Music Episode Rhythm. A rhythm game. I was able to get to the second highest difficulty. I can't beat it though, the second to last. And the last one, absolutely insane. You gotta be a master. Friday the 13th, Killer Cut. If you like Slayaway Camp, this is literally Slayaway Camp with a Friday the 13th skin. Fun, but the ending is absolutely stupid. Mirror, this game, it's a puzzle game combined with a visual novel and it's a puzzle game where you actually play as the bad guy half the time. And a lot of bad things happen in this game. This game is going to trigger a lot of people, so I highly advise staying away from it. I enjoyed it because it was a different, unique experience, but please keep in mind there's a lot of triggering things that happen in like 2 or 3 of the different stories that take place in this game. Like I said, I enjoyed it though. There's definitely one scene where it's obvious that's not it's all done in a pretty much voice acted over like anime stills, but there's one scene in this game that's really like ooh that's a bit unexpected. Tamashi, have not played it. Calderus Blaze, have not played it. Agony, have not played it. Heard this game sucks, but I have not played it. Koi, cute little game where you're a little fish, you gotta swim around, save other fish, and try to detoxify the water that you're living in. Anodyne, fantastic, fantastic 2D action adventure, kind of like A Legend of Zelda meets Earthbound. There's a lot of really weird stuff that happens in this game, and a lot of really fun stuff. Although, please note, there's also a few triggering things in this game that people may not like. I found it hilarious, but people may not like it. There's a few mature themes in this game as well, so keep that in mind. Anodyne, fantastic 2D adventure, like Super Nintendo Legend of Zelda meets Earthbound. Just to give you an idea, your actual main weapon is a broom, and you can pick up dust that's on the ground. It's pretty funny. Luca, Born of a Dream, a game that has one of a fantastic art style. It's kind of like a hack and slash beat 'em up, kind of like a 2/3 overhead view type thing. Once again, it has a very deep, very dark story, but very fun nonetheless. Ghost 1.0, fantastic, fantastic Metroidvania. I highly recommend anybody who has not played this game and likes Metroidvania, pick this game up now. Has an absolutely funny story combined with seriousness. Takes place in the future-esque on a spaceship orbiting Earth. You're trying to infiltrate, and the story is fully voice acted, and the voices are actually pretty well done. The game is there's a lot of in-game achievements that you could try to get, and the controls are really tight. The music is serviceable. It's just a great game all around. Highly recommend anybody likes Metroidvania, pick it up. Perseverance. It's a visual novel that lasts like an hour. Hiroki, baby's first platformer. If you can even call it that, you don't even platform, you float. So you really can't die unless you die to the obstacles or die to a boss. And this game has 3 different worlds, and one of them is a water maze world. Why? Why would you make one a water maze world? If you have 3 choices for worlds. That's like the worst thing you could do. Kuyo Blaster. Fun shump. Fun shoot 'em up. It's very short, very reminiscent of those crazy, wacky Japanese shoot 'em ups of the 90s and early 2000s. Very fun. If you like Parodius, you'll probably enjoy this game. Panpaku. Absolutely fantastic, story-driven action platformer that's told in the style of a father telling her son, or telling her daughter a bedtime story about this great adventurer, which is the main character, and you got to go through this very colorful world, and it's being slowly taken over by the corruptedness. Very cool story. Velocity, if you enjoy fast-paced platforming that you really enjoy speedrunning, combined with a shoot 'em up style game, because you get half the game is, well, I'd say about half the game is fast-paced action platforming, the other half is shoot 'em up. This is a game for you. Very fun, by the way. Highly recommend it. Pet Shop Snacks. I got this game for free, so yeah. I haven't played it though. Nikopara Volume 1. Same thing with Nikopara Volume 2. Visual novel, but no choices. Tetris 99, classic. If you enjoy the Battle Royale, fast-paced Tetris action. I suck at it, but it's fun. Bastion, absolutely lovely, story-driven hack and slash game. And the main character doesn't speak, but the narrator does all the speaking, and it is done very, very well. Fight and Rage, haven't played it yet. Castle of Heart, very fun. Well, kind of fun. Old school, 2D. Well, not old school. Kind of like a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 era 2D or 2.5D action platformer where it scrolls from side to side, but everything is in the 3D, but it's on a 2D plane type thing. You can't move back or forward. You can only move left and right. I'm 99% sure there's a hidden ending to this game, but I could not collect all the pieces of heart. There's a few that I just could not find. I'm sure I could look it up online, but what's the fun in that, you know? The story itself is not great, because the main character at the beginning of the story is turned to stone, and his girlfriend weeps a tear. It falls on him, and it brings him partially back to life. So literally you have the Pikachu tears effect going on here. So yeah, it's not the greatest story, but it's not bad. It's a serviceable 2.5D action platformer with early PlayStation 2, late PlayStation 1 style graphics. Degrees of Separation. I played a little bit of this game I did a review on this channel. It's a very fun, very bright, colorful 2D platformer, puzzle platformer. The only thing is some of the puzzles can get very mind bending, and you're not always sure where to go, so you might end up going some places earlier than what you should. Although you can technically do most of the game out of order, it's much easier to learn the ropes earlier on than to do it later. Oceanhorn, if you enjoy Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, you'll enjoy this game. It's essentially Legend of Zelda Wind Waker light, with a dash of dungeon exploring, a dash of ocean exploration on your boat, and a dash of Zelda combat. Icy, absolutely lovely hack and slash 2D game that breaks the fourth wall constantly. There's a narrator. You do some things that makes the narrator angry. He breaks the fourth wall. The only thing that sucks in this game is the story is very cryptic and told and given to you in pieces as you fail throughout the game. It's kind of weird. You fail to actually get pieces of the story. You put it all together, and then at the end you're like, "Oh, okay, I get what's happening now." Instead of like, "Wait, who are you? Who are you? What's that? Huh? What's going on?" But yeah, you actually have to trigger fail events where the narrator like will cut the game off. But like literally, there's one point in the game where you're trying where you go into this empty room. I don't know. The narrator will be like, "Oh, what are you doing in here? We're waiting for a trophy," and then you just wait around. You wait like a minute. He'll say something else. You wait another minute. He'll say something else, and then if you wait long enough, he'll put a trophy there. You go get it. He'll get really, really PO'd at you that you were just there to get a trophy and basically terminate the whole game and be like, "Okay, we're done." It's I'm explaining it poorly, but trust me, this game is hilarious. Valhalla, haven't played it. Summer Sweetheart, haven't played it. Sonic, haven't played it. Sky Piece, very fun arcade shoot 'em up. Love the anime style art. Very simple. It's one of those games that's simple to play but hard to master. You have to do very specific things to get to trigger certain items to appear. I still have not figured out how to get a perfect run without potential RNG, because I've not figured out how to get a UFO to guarantee to appear on every level, and to get a certain, it's like a certain flower to appear, because sometimes when I do a certain thing it'll appear and other times it won't. So there's like a flower you need to appear, a UFO you need to appear, and like a box that you need to appear when you get every single item in the level that'll appear. So it's a game that's very hard or fun to play, easy to play, hard to master. But let's just put it at that. Xenodrifter. If you enjoy mutant mods, this game is very fun. Only a little bit more free roaming, not free foaming. You can literally go to start on any world. However, you really can't because each world is kind of blocked off. You gotta collect certain items to. It's very Metroidvania-esque. You gotta collect certain items here, go to the next world, progress until you can beat a certain boss, get a certain item. Go to the next world, progress till you can get to a boss, get a certain item. Go back to the previous world you're on, use that item to progress even further into that world. It's very Metroidvania-esque, where you gotta do a lot of back and forth tracking. Magic Hat. This game is very, very surprisingly varied. There's a whole lot of game packed into this little tiny platformer. It is. First off, you play as a cat. That's super adorable. Second off, it's a 2D classic action or 2D platformer, and there's a ton of variety. I mean, there's a level where you get to dodge lightning strikes by hiding behind like rocks and not being on the metal fence when it strikes. There's a level where you got to ride in a bubble to float around the level. There's a level where it's all black and red, and you got to dodge a laser. It's literally a laser that's following you. You got to duck behind cover, then you got to duck behind the next cover, and basically it's a cooldown in between each laser shot. So you got to go while the laser's charging up. It's a lot of variety. I was very surprised. I highly recommend to anybody who's looking for a cheap, quick platformer. Flood of Light. It's a serviceable puzzle game. Not my favorite. The art style is really cool, though. I like the art style. Transcripted, fantastic, fantastic. Match 3 game. Where you actually have a story that's really, really fun. Completely voice acted, which I was not expecting. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, you can literally level up your ship in the entire game. As the levels progress, more enemies get added to make it that much more challenging. And by the end of the game, there's a lot you gotta keep track of. And some of the goals are not goals, but like secret missions to get in each level are some of them are absolutely insane. I don't know how some of those can be completed. But yeah, this game is and I got it for free. This game was a free download if I owned another game. This was one of the best free downloads I ever got. I was blown away. I was like, this game absolutely deserves more attention than what it's getting. If you enjoy a good match 3 game combined with kind of like oh, what's that one game? Geometry Wars style combat with a pretty well written story and well voice acted story, this is a game for you. Absolutely blow me away how much was packed into this free game that I got. Enchanting Mahjong match. So this game you pretty much play Mahjong and you get to unlock semi-erotic 2D anime girls photos. Not bad. If you enjoy Mahjong, not bad. Pure Electric Love, Look on My Eyes. So this one is essentially a phone call simulator. Yeah, you literally listen to a phone call from this particular character, or not character, I'm human, and they give you options to progress the phone call, and you continue listening to her talk. It's literally a phone call simulator. However, it's all in Japanese, including subtitles, so you have no idea what they're talking about. It's worse than a visual novel because you just get one static image of the lovely character, our lovely human there, Mo. Yeah, and it's just a it's not worth it. It's visual novels are much better done than this. Uh, yeah, if you want a phone call simulator, this is a game for you. And it's expensive too. It's like $15 if you want to get all the DLC. And they have 3 different versions of this game with 3 different females that you could talk to. I bought one just out of curiosity because when you go to the page, it's actually all in broken English. It's kind of funny, but I wanted to. My curiosity got the best of me, and yeah, it's just a phone call simulator, so not not what I was expecting. And sometimes they reverse the options on you, so you're thinking, okay, to progress to get a different uh, continuation of the story, you would press like you press down, up, down, up. Well, that's not always the case. Sometimes they'll flip it on you, so you got to keep track. Sometimes what was on the bottom is actually on the top, and it's just really annoying that way. Hoagie 2, I actually did a playthrough of this on my channel a while ago. I deleted it because nobody was watching it, and on top of that, that was the time that YouTube, yeah, we all know what happened. Fun, family-friendly puzzle platformer that has a glitch at the end that's really annoying with one certain boss. If you don't beat him on the first attempt, it's literally unbeatable. You have to go all the way back to the beginning of the boss fight, and that's just annoying. Ambition of the Slimes. I did a review of this. This game is a very, very challenging real-time or grid-based strategy game like Disgaea or Final Fantasy Tactics. Very, very challenging. It's very, very hard. Like you have to basically position your characters in the right spots and hope. Some levels you need a little bit of luck too. That you could like survive a couple enough hits to move on. You recruit characters by beating a level, and then it's randomly chosen between 3, so you don't even get a guaranteed character that you might want. And so, of course, the good characters have a much lower percentage chance of showing up. Leveling up in this game sucks. This game is a very, very challenging Disgaea or Final Fantasy Tactics like game. 20XX, fantastic Mega Man roguelike. Hunter's Legacy, really, really fun action platformer where you play as a really, really cute cat. Violet. So this is a point-and-click adventure. Really lovely art. However, about 2/3 of the way through the game, there's an item that you need to find to progress the story. And there's no clues to where it's at. You just gotta randomly luck into finding it. I had to look up a guide where to find it. And once I found it, I'm like, oh, I am PO'd because I would have never looked there. And, yeah, that kind of ruined the experience. If it wasn't for that, this game I would have enjoyed this game much more, but that little hidden item really ruined the experience for me. It's fun, though, if you enjoy point-and-click adventure with a lot of puzzle solving. Woodle Tree Adventures. Fun 3D platformer, but it's super short. Tiny Hands Adventure. Fun 2.5D platformer done in the style of Crash Bandicoot. So if you like Crash Bandicoot but want an indie game, this might fit the bill. Startide, the game that you literally cannot complete on the Nintendo Switch version. You get toward the end of this game, there's a section of the game that you're trying to access. You cannot, though, because it's up here at the top of the screen. You can't scroll the screen any further. Your cursor arrow is just out of reach of it, and literally it won't snap to it or anything. So literally, you cannot beat the game story mode. Unless they updated it, which I haven't checked lately, but unless they updated it, this game is still 100% unbeatable in the Nintendo Switch version. You can beat it on the PC version, but not the Nintendo Switch version. Urban Trial Playgrounds, if you enjoy just a fun motorcycle drift stunt type game, you might enjoy this, but keep in mind it's all done on a 2D plane, so you can only go forward or backwards. You can't go left or right. It's all just straight ahead, build up speed, try to make jumps. It's very reminiscent of like a Newgrounds game back in the day, only 3D. Cast of the Seven God Hands. This game's a very, very hard uh, action hack and slash game. I could not beat it. Uh, Zinrakagra, Reflexations, haven't played it. Nikopara Volume 3, haven't played this one yet. Observer, have not played. Nippon Marathon, have not played. Layers Fear Legacy, have not played. The Shape-Shifting Detective, I have not played. Love 100 Days, nope. Oniken, no. The Next Penelope, nope. Lost Phone Stories. So this is essentially a very like it's 90% story, 10% puzzle. And it's a really well crafted story. At least the first one is. The second one I don't like so much, but the first one's a really well crafted story. And it gets you hooked. You keep wanting to play it, and by the time you realize it, the game's over. The second one has a very annoying feature where you can only play it in cell phone mode, where you have to take the Nintendo Switch, put it on its side, and play it touchscreen. You cannot play it with a controller. You cannot play it hook it up to the TV. You have to play it touchscreen, turn on its side, cell phone mode, which is annoying. I think that's what ruined the experience for me. Metropolis Lux Obscura, have not played. That one I have not played. I wanted a visual novel that was more centered on a group of guys instead of a group of girls, just to see what it is. And this one looked like it was one of the more edgier ones out there. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a try, just see if it's any good. It was expensive too. It's like $15 for that thing. Sweet Witches, have not played. Looks like, yeah, a lot of the rest of these I have not played, so I'm just going to read the title unless I have played it. Mechaniki, Sigma, Angels of Death, Skyrider, Pixel Party, SteamWorld Dig, Smashing the Battle, Mitsurugi Kamui, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Fantastic set of games. If you have never played a Phoenix Wright game, please get this game. Definitely worth the purchase. Will, A Wonderful World, Escape Doodoo Land, or Doodle, not Doodoo, Doodle. Cattail, Toby, The Secret Mind, The Count, Lucinor, Daemon X Machina, Prototype Missions. Fantastic prelude to a game that I have yet to play. Daemon X Machina, I really, really liked it's essentially like a prequel, like a little pre-story to the actual game that you get. It's pretty fun. It's actually a lot more in depth than you think for a free little add-on. Slayaway Camp. I played the Friday the 13th version. It's pretty much the same thing. Hollow, have not played. Odalius, Nefarious, Agatha Knife, Crazy Strike Bowling, Vivietti, Photon Cube, Perception, Contra. Absolutely fantastic set of games here. If you love hardcore 2D action adventure shoot 'em up games, this fits the bill. Contra is one of the classic hardcore NES titles. Crypt of the Necromancer, Where Are My Friends, Gothita, Deflation, Castlevania. Once again, another great trilogy here. Or not trilogy, this has like a whole bunch of games in it. If you enjoy Castlevania, I highly recommend this. I really, really wish that they would do like a Castlevania Metroidvania pack that has like the DS games, like all three of them on a collection, I would buy two of them even though I could only get one. Slain, the Mahjong Huntress. This game was essentially a Toho type game. My Big Sister, of course, Super Smash. Toridama, Brave Challenge. I picked this up purely because I think it was it Markiplier? One of the big YouTubers played this, and I was like, oh, that looks fun, and then I picked it up, and I'm like, well, it's kind of like WarioWare, but WarioWare is better. It's like a small version of WarioWare. And Nintendo Entertainment System. Once again, always changing, pretty fun. Well, that about rounds up my Nintendo Switch digital video game collection. Yeah. I know that there's a lot of games I have yet to play, but I'm trying to get to them. I'm just, every time I complete one, it's like two more appear on sale that I want to get, so it's like a never-ending conquest of completing games and buying new games, so. Yeah, please let me know in the comments down below if any of these games are you highly recommend and you think that I should play that I haven't played yet. It's like, hey, put this game on the top of your list, it's really, really good. Or if you think that if any of these games are absolute bombs and it should be like, stay away, if you play this game, it's going to make you cry or something like that. I don't know. I always love to hear your opinions, and let me know if any of these games intrigue you, or if I may have intrigued you to buy any games that I have recommended. I think that's about it for this video. Until next time, this has been Booster Box Buster, and I'm signing out. Peace.